Hey Google, who won the 2020 presidential election?
According to Wikipedia, elections were held in the United States on November 3, 2020. The Democratic Party's nominee, former Vice President Joe Biden, defeated incumbent Republican President Donald Trump in the presidential election.
See how easy that was? I Googled who won the 2020 presidential election. What do you think of when I say the big lie? What do you think of? Some people think the 2020 presidential election. Some people think maybe what happened on January 6th, the fact that it was a riot on the Capitol. It was an attack on democracy. Some people him and haw and go, no, peaceful protest, nothing to see here, fake news. Well, I had an experience with what CNN thought was a big lie. I was the fitness consultant for Fit Nation that CNN did back in 2008, 2009. And one of the things I did a blog. I remember I did one when I interviewed all these cancer survivors. And I think the name of my blog was I Know I Have Cancer, because all of them said, Robert, I eat right, I exercise, and ended up getting cancer. Now, all of them were cancer survivors, and I think their healthy lifestyle helped with that. But I had to go in and prove that, that connection had to be made. I did another thing where I talked about certain dessert wines having the same caloric amount as a medium-sized donut. So just before I did this post, I searched it again. Average caloric intake of an average dessert wine is 160 to 230 calories. A medium-sized donut, 190 to 300 if you Google it. And again, there are varying, caloric intakes depending on what wine and what donut and what toppings. But my point remained valid. Certain dessert wines had the same caloric intake as certain medium-sized donuts. So I got all this hate mail or emails from, people that were wine connoisseurs and liked wine. My point was, it was math, that weight loss was math, and you had to collect calories either in a deficit to lose weight, or if you have a surplus, you're going to gain weight. And that was my only point. And my point of this post is that, the big lie, I think currently, is tariffs. Anyone who's studying Economics 101 knows that if you have tariffs, the country that's proposing the tariffs, their citizens are the ones that are going to pay. Because say we impose a 25% tariff on Canada. When their goods come in here, they're 25% higher to get off the boat, which means they're going to pass them on to the consumers and the prices are higher. It's simple. You don't have to overcomplicate it. The big lie is that tariffs benefit us. And we are allowing this current evil and corrupt administration to tell us differently when we know better. We know better. I heard a comedian once, he was like, yeah, whenever answers are simple, they're usually true. Like the couple of things that I searched, the wine and the donuts and who won the 2020 election. He gave an example of like when you ask somebody where they went to college, UNC, UVA. But if you ask a brother where he went to college, he's like, yeah, so what happened was, I went to junior college and then, some credits didn't transfer. It's a mess. Look at how the people that support this administration, all the people in Congress that are trying to explain how these tariffs aren't a freaking disaster and how it has trashed the stock market over the last couple of days. 3,000 points? It's insane. Anybody that can try to defend this nonsense, folks, if it's simple, it's usually the truth. If somebody's got a him and haw, well, what happened was, you got to wait till it's a lie. It's a big lie. Folks, let's stop lying to ourselves and just vote this evil and corrupt administration out ASAP.